Let's have a salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
The next ayah is a repetition of what we just spoke about. It says, انظر كيف فضلنا بعضهم على بعض والآخرة أكبر درجات وأكبر تفضيلا. See how we have bestowed more on some than others, but surely the hereafter is more in rank and gradation and more in excellence. Allah reaffirms this, that we have given more to some in this life than others. But remember your hereafter, because the hereafter is far better than anything in this life. And the reason that Allah gives certain things to certain people is for various reasons. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said, this person, they never have money, they never have money. And I said, sometimes Allah doesn't give money to a human being based upon His rahmah, because if He gives money, they would do exactly what we mentioned, what Allah mentions in this previous ayah, that the rich people or the wealthy or affluent people in society, sometimes they become corrupt and Allah destroys that society. Similarly for the mu'min, Allah sometimes doesn't give them things, because sometimes if we have it, we have that particular quality or that particular material thing, we'll go and abuse it. The first thing we'll go do is most people, if they get money, when they don't have it, they say, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give this. I hear people all the time say this: if I win the lottery, I will give this. But when people get a raise at their job, how many people give the first thing they do is they give zakat, or they give their khums, that's usually the last thing that they do. The first thing that they do is they say, you know what, I'm going to go out and buy a new car. Think about it. Whenever we get a raise or anything, the first thing we do is we go on the internet and we start searching for things. Does anybody go, let me go see how much, let me go check the zakat calculator. First thing we do, we go look at a new car, a new television, new stereo, whatever it is. So this is a reminder to us to be careful of that. And I'll end with this. وقضى ربك على تعبدوا إلا إياه وبالوالدين إحسانا إما يبلغن عندك كبار أحدهما أو كلاهما فلا تقل لهما أف. Your Lord had decreed or declared that you worship none but Him. ألا تعبدوا إلا إياه, that we make nothing the object of worship except Him, that we serve nothing but Him, that we bow to nothing but Him, that servitude, that this servanthood is nothing but except for Him. Then Quran switches and it says, and be kind to your parents, linking these two things, that in order of priority is that we serve Him and we have absolute servitude towards Him. It doesn't say you serve your parents. It says that you be kind to them, that you respect them. But it links these two important concepts. Respect and kindness to parents is linked with this concept of tawheed, of ubudiyah towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is how important it is. It's putting these things side by side. And that you do not say the words uff to them. The word uff means when our parents say something that we say that we say cheese, say God, that we don't even say that. This is probably the hardest commandment in the Quran. Someone called me the other day. Mother called me the other day, and she said, please, she cried and she was crying on the phone. She said, please talk to my son. Talk to my child. He's not respecting me. He's not doing this. I'm worried about him. On. And I really couldn't tell her anything because I felt just felt very bad and horrible for her. So she asked me to talk to him, and I spoke to him. And I didn't say anything. I didn't lecture him. I just told him one thing. I said, your mother called me. I said, but I'm not going to lecture you. I said, I'm just going to tell you one thing. I said, one day you will appreciate the day when your mother screams at you. You don't see it now, but one day you'll I said, if I could go back, I said, if you asked me, give me, for anything in this world, I would tell you, just give me 10 minutes, just give me 2 minutes, and let my mother shout at me. Just so I could hear her voice. That's all I'm going to tell you. So then, I left. His mother called me 2 hours later, and she said thank you. I don't know what he did to her, but he must have really made her happy. But so Quran tells us this. Don't even say these little things, and especially to your mother. This is why the Prophet ﷺ said,
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Paradise lies at the feet of your mother. And this, in lectures, this has become a cliche thing, a very cliche. We constantly say it, and we say it, and we say it, and we say it. Paradise lies at the feet of your mother. The Prophet said, he could not have said anything more perfect than these words. Do you know that it is not permissible to put your head down on the floor to anyone's feet, anybody's feet, that is like ubudiyya to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there are some exceptions in Quran, I'm not talking about that, but any normal person, it is not permissible to put your head on the feet of that prostration is only due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet said, paradise lies at the feet of her. So the lowest you have to go at the dust of her feet, then do it, but do not say off. If you look at the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he goes to his community, and his uncle, who happened to be his guardian, in Quran he calls his uncle my father. He says, "Oh, my father." And Ibrahim preaches to his people, and you all know the story. Finally, his uncle comes to him, and his uncle gets sick of this. And he says to Ibrahim alayhi salam, he says, "You know what? You keep doing this, I'm going to kill you." And look at Ibrahim's response to his father. He doesn't say, "Well, father, the proof for Allah is this, and you're He doesn't say this. Quran says, Ibrahim says, "Salam." He says, "Peace be upon you, O father. I'm going to leave." It's an amazing story of the patience of the prophets. And I don't want to continue with this, but if we look at the example of the Imams, how Imam Zain al-Abidin treated his mother. Imam Zain, we go home, we sit at the table, and we wait for our mother to bring us food. Look at the lives of the Imams. I challenge anyone to look at that. Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam brought food to his mother. He would not let his mother bring him food. These were the Imams. These were the type of people they were. This is why the actions of the Imams, when we study them, they would change the world. But that's for another discussion. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Nor repel them, but address them in terms of qawlun karima. But address them in sweet words. Kareem. Address them in kareem words. Sweet words. Just talk to them sweetly. وَاقْفِضْ لَهُمَا جَنَاحَ الظُّلِّ مِنَ الرَّحْمَةِ وَقُلْ رَبِّ أَرْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي صَغِيرًا. And out of kindness, lower to them the wing of humility, or lower the wing of mercy to them, and say, "My Lord, bestow on them your mercy, even as they cherished me in childhood." So Quran is telling us that in addition to doing all this, it's using this example.